Now, the Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has called for a cabinet meeting where he is expected to incorporate some new ministers. Amidst the political turmoil and the emergency-like situation in the country, the Nepalese Prime Minister is also going to decide whether he wants to dissolve some of the state legislatures as well. Meanwhile, the Prachanda Faction has approached the Nepalese Election Commission and has demanded that they be recognized officially to form the government. Now, the dissolution comes in the wake of an ongoing power tussle between the two gentlemen that you're looking at on your screens, KP Sharma Oli and the former Prime Minister PK Dahal Prachanda. The move is, of course, being seen as a knee-jerk reaction by the Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, who saw the step as the last resort after losing majority support on the floor of the House. Now, Prime Minister Oli has also been expelled from the post of the National Communist Party as well. The Prachanda supporters have denounced Oli government's move of dissolving the House of Representatives. The House's dissolution has resulted in a split in the Nepalese Communist Party. Many are also calling the Nepalese Prime Minister's move as completely unconstitutional. And according to Nepal's constitution, there is no provision in the law that allows the country's Prime Minister to dissolve the lower house unilaterally. The Prachanda faction has already challenged the dissolution in Nepal's Supreme Court, and the Nepalese Supreme Court has sought an immediate answer from the government within the next 10 days. The Supreme Court is hearing several petitions filed against the dissolution of the lower house. Meanwhile, the Bagmati province seems to, of course, be the first casualty of the split in the Nepal Communist Party. As many as about 45 members of the Bagmati Provincial Assembly have registered a no-confidence motion against Chief Minister Dormani Pudel, who is considered to be one of Oli's closest allies. Now, the party is divided into two factions, one led by Oli and the country's former Prime Minister Pushpa Kumar Dahal or Prachanda, along with Madhav Kumar. Now, high political drama is expected as Prime Minister Oli has called for a cabinet meeting. And reports say that Oli is expected to incorporate new ministers and will decide on some state legislatures' dissolution. The reports also say that Prachanda faction plans to join hands with the Janata Samajwadi Party and stake their claim before the Speaker to form the government. Now, largely put, there are three groups that are active in the Nepalese Congress. First, the ones who want to go to polls. Secondly, the ones who want to oppose the polls but fear their opposition to misunderstand as support for the Prachanda faction. And lastly, the ones who want the Supreme Court to take a call on the dissolution and then decide. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.